Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
Good evening, Warriors! Welcome to Movie Madness, episode 16 on the books. And you know what? I want some super chats! I'm the only madman of movie talk that has every super chat for free, and you're not leaving them, so guess what? I'm gonna kickstart this shit. Movie Madness on Sundays is gonna be Movie Madness with a mailbag, and we're gonna conclude a lot of your questions, a lot of your super chats, so take your gloves off, get the hard questions in, the hot topics that you really want to know from a madman's perspective. Are you mad? Do you have movie madness? Tell me what you're mad about. Now on to this episode, and what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about plans. What we need to do to get the real truth out that the consumer wants, the consumer's opinion, unfiltered, uncensored. And you know what? That's hard to do with Rotten Tomatoes nowadays, and how Disney bullies their way and pulls their ads whenever they get real criticism. So here's my plan, and I have lots of plans. I'm a madman with some mad plans to take it to Disney's box office, their bottom line, and be a toxic Avenger to their box office and really tell them how it is. No filter. And you know what? My plans, I think all of them, all my plans don't include you having to pay 1 red cent. That's right, no paywalls here. With the recent changes to Rotten Tomatoes, you know Disney was preparing and partnering up with their friends at Rotten Tomatoes and Fandango to silence the public. Well, I have plans to counteract that. And you got to think of this stuff way in advance. You got to stay one step ahead of the big mouse, because they're trying to do everything they can. And they're pulling out all the stops for Rise of the Skywalker. So should we. And it's more than just boycotting war. There's going to be a boycott, believe me. But there's more that we have to do. So that's what this episode's about. It's going to be about the Rise of Skywalker reviews here on YouTube, on the internet, on Rotten Tomatoes. And what I encourage all of you to do, I can only create an option for you. It doesn't mean anything if you don't contribute, if you don't comment, if you don't vote in these polls. These polls are going to be important. And I'm not going to say, go to my website. I'm not a show for other stuff. I'm keeping everything here on YouTube. So, it started on YouTube. Keep it on YouTube. And keep non-censored thoughts and opinions. And we're going to keep it here. And I'm going to tell you how in this protest to Rotten Tomatoes. Let me get better here so you can see me. This is a protest to what Rotten Tomatoes is doing. Remember the interested, not interested? That's just the casual way for you to get an opinion of how the public's perception is of an upcoming film. And that's something they started, and we were using it correctly. Now, I'm not the one that says, go review bomb a movie if you haven't paid for it. But there's just as much margin of error in that as there is for show media, access media. And you know what? They say you need to verify that you bought your ticket to review a movie. Well, here's what I'm saying. That goes across the board. Show media access, until they have to do ticket verification, I am going to put options for consumers right here on my videos. And I'm going to do as many movies as possible, starting with the Rise of Skywalker reviews right now. That means in this video, you're going to see Rise of Skywalker. And it's going to be real simple. Vote in the poll. Interested, not interested. And we're going to use the results in a separate video. And on the same video, when Rise of the Skywalker is released, I will update this video with another poll where you can review it. And I'm not going to check to see if you bought your tickets. See it any way you can because you're dealing with Disney. So that's what you could do now. Right now, you could vote interested, not interested in Rise of the Skywalker, the movie. Be honest, that's all I could say. And you know what? There's margin of error of everything in all these polls. It's the internet. Guess what? You still leave it where everyone can see. So vote honestly. And then on the same video, you're going to review the movie when it comes out. And I'll update with a poll then. It's just going to be 5 options. 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 when the review option goes live. Because you can't do it on Rotten Tomatoes anymore until you give Fandango your money. What if you bought tickets to the movie and you didn't use Fandango? That's not cool. This is a protest to the Rotten Tomato fiasco and how they're silencing the consumers. It's also a protest against Shill Media, Shillider, John Campea. Because the other thing that's been changing here is Shill Access Media has been losing their exclusive. Disney has been pulling the Collider Access check. And you know what? There's also news that Sony, Universal, I'm not sure if Warner Brothers, I forget the other movie company, is pulling out of Comic-Con. This is another result of the Disney effect. Disney's bullying their way and they're creating cons to con the fandom. They don't want to be at any con unless they're getting direct funds. It costs too much to be at Comic-Con. They pull their Disney and their Marvel stuff, and now all the Fox properties. You see what this is doing? They don't want to share. Disney does not want to share. They want everything for themselves. And it's ruining Comic-Con too. That's why everyone's pulling out. Why are you going to spend lots of money when Disney is just going to throw a con, a D23 or a Star Wars con? Maybe they'll now have a Marvel con. Watch out for it. They're pulling from Comic-Con. And then they might have a Marvel con to con their way out of your funds. So it's a sign of the times that social media influencers are losing their influence. Are you still under the influence? I don't think so. And that's why the other reason they're pulling out of Comic-Con. So that's what this video is about. We need to prepare and we need to start now. And it's more than just boycotting and boycotting. That's the most important thing, is sticking to your guns and closing your wallets for good. Close your wallets. If you're going to complain, if you have all that bark, put some bite in it. Use the options that we have here on YouTube. What we have left. These polls are going to be important. It's part of my plan. Part of my plans are the boycott. The working with opposing opinions to come together to create something better. Fans united! That cancels the toxic fan and does something good. So that's another part. Another thing I want to work on is the fandom awards. Because I'm for fandom, and fandom are my friends. The Force is fandom, the future is fandom, and it's also fan film. So that's where we need to focus our energy, because you can't take away the fandom and you can't take away fan film. If you want to unite the fandom of Star Wars, what you need to focus on is fan film, because that's something everyone agrees on. Disney Star Wars, divided, like the Holdo maneuver. But when you talk about Star Wars theory in the Darth Vader fan film, everyone agrees, gets on the same page. So that's why I'm focusing on that, and I want your help too. In the comments section of this video, don't forget, there's three things you need to do on this video. Vote in the poll saying, are you interested in the Rise of Skywalker or not interested? Simple poll. One of two options. The more people we get to use the poll, the better the results. Then in the comments section, say why you're interested or not interested. Treat it just like the Rotten Tomatoes used to be before they silenced the consumer. And then, if you still happen to be interested in the Rise of Skywalker and you're going to see it any way you can, I'm not going to anyone if they still see it or how they see it. I think you should keep your wallets closed. Then you should review it, and you shouldn't have to pay for it and use ticket verification just with Disney approved, sponsored, partnered sites like Rotten Tomatoes and Fandango. You could go see it and not have to go through Fandango, and that's not right because that's what everyone uses. So as a protest, come here and leave your review. Plan on doing this for as many movies as possible. Not just Star Wars, but it's going to be the first one because it's the most important one, because that's where they're going to do the most damage control and try to sway public opinion. Don't be under the influence. And I'm going to do this until Access Media also has to use ticket verification for tickets they actually bought themselves. Tell me what you think. Let's hash it out. I'll see you in the next episode of Movie Madness. Oh, by the way, what do you like my Doom mask? It's one of my favorites. Which Mask of Madness is your favorite of mine? And there's more to come. Yeah, many more Masks of Madness to come. And I might show you my Wall of Madness soon, where I keep my many faces. So, tell me which one's your favorite. This is growing on me. Yeah, definitely. I'll see you later.